Yo, what's good, everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and here's my post-fight reaction to Tszyu versus Tony Harrison. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key sick that Tony Harrison lost because I like Harrison and I wanted him to win, but Tim smoked Harrison. This fight has changed my opinion about Tim, and I'm impressed. He's way better than what I thought, and he showed up tonight. On the other hand, Harrison did not show up tonight, and it's kind of disappointing because he did a lot of talking in the pre-fight build-up. I was expecting Harrison to use his legs in this fight, but he did the complete opposite. For the first half of the fight, Harrison was flat footed, no lateral movement. This caused him to put his back to the ropes, which put him in positions that favored Tim's pressure style. He started using his legs after the third round, and that was because he got hurt with a counter right hand in the third round when he was flat footed. But even when he was moving, he still had his back to the ropes for the majority of the time. Furthermore, he would remain stationary for long periods of time on the ropes, and this favored Tim. The ring was small, but still, he spent too much time on the ropes. It looked like something was wrong with his legs, and a lot of people also pointed that out as well. Errol Spence said something on Twitter, Shakur Stevenson said something on Twitter, and Jermell Charlo also pointed it out when he was commentating as well. Harrison also fought too defensive. The only punch he threw in this fight was his jab, and his jab was very effective. He was jabbing the shit out of Tim, but he did not follow it up with anything. He barely threw his right hand or threw combinations. No 1-1-2s, no 1-2s, just the occasional 1-2 here and there, but he was just waiting too long. It seemed like Harrison was very wary of Tim's power and counterpunching ability, and I don't blame him because Tim's counterpunching was on point. I already knew that Tim was a good counterpuncher, but he showed some real elite counterpunching in this fight, especially with the right hand and the left hook. Tim was very patient and composed. He applied intelligent pressure. His punch selection and placement was on point, and he was just sharp overall. And Tim would pick up the pressure each round, and that put a lot of mental and physical pressure and stress on Harrison. By the time it got to the ninth round, Harrison was already fading, which then led to the stoppage, and that was a brutal stoppage. Like the ref should have ended that way sooner than what he did. In all honesty, Tim controlled this fight from start to finish. The only round he lost in my eyes was the first one, and maybe the fourth and eighth, but that's a stretch. Truth be told, Tim looked like a Canelo clone, but shout out to him for putting on a good performance, and shout out to Australia. The Charlo fight is now next, and based on how Tim looked in this fight, I can see Tim giving Charlo a lot of problems. Charlo had trouble dealing with Brian Castano, especially in the first fight, and Tim has a similar style to Castano, but Tim is also better than Castano. Plus, Charlo's coming off an injury and a long layoff. If he's not prepared, Tim may upset Charlo. But the question is, what's best for Tony Harrison? A lot of people are saying that Tony Harrison should retire, which is understandable. He did look shot in this fight. His reaction and he just didn't look the best. But he did look better in his last fight against Sergio Garcia. I think he should just focus on training for now, training Alicia Baumgartner, and just make the full-time transition into being a full-time trainer. I think that'll be the best option for Harrison and the best option for boxing. But who knows, this is boxing. Anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with AEO Boxing with Madiba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content's coming your way.